there are things here which, he may defend or he'll say, well, I don't know. I didn't know Trump in the 90s, and I only met Trump in the mid 2000s, which is all true. So he really plays dumb at times, and Lev called him on that. But you can look at any other bit of the evidence and say whether he participated by actually attacking underage girls, and I call it an attack, whether he did that or not, he hung around a really ugly character. I wouldn't even want to hang around this fellow. Nutlick or Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, got turned off by him the first time he was in there. And Nutlick is not the brightest bulb in the shed. So it doesn't take a lot to realize you don't want to be around these people. And the fact that Trump was just shows so much about his character. And Michael sometimes seems to be giving Trump a pass on Epstein, say, well, I didn't know him. Yeah, but there's a lot of other evidence that's just there, circumstantial, and a lot that's being hidden. So Lev is on Cohen about over Epstein, and I think, Lev claims that his big beef is over his son, who works for MeidasTouch, or is associated with them, I should say. And MeidasTouch, he was going to sub for Michael Cohen, and Lev, with his feelings about Cohen, got really upset about it. But instead of, dealing with all of this where he should have, just behind the scenes, because it all could have been resolved, he went on the air this weekend and just let it all hang out. And there was so much vitriol, it made me not trust him again. I mean, he's a known, he created that whole scheme to get Biden invested by, going to some corrupt folks in Ukraine that had high positions in power. And it was just not pretty. All the things he did were dirty. And so his son did this podcast today, Friday, that will be on Friday. This is Christmas Eve, for Michael Cohen's show on the MeidasTouch, and he got upset about that. But then he started getting upset about MeidasTouch not covering Ukraine well enough, not breaking news. And you know what, Lev? Everyone covers what's happening now in their own best way, and you do a great job. But don't put down MeidasTouch for what they're doing, and don't just start calling them leftists. You know what? They are presenting a lot of facts, a lot of unknown things. They scour the internet, they watch the news. I can't do that. And they bring a lot of good stuff to the table, and you know that. They just cover it different than you. You know the people, you get other kinds of insights, and you bring them too. But you didn't have to go on a tirade like this. I see you all the time on MeidasTouch. In fact, up until a few weeks ago, you had a show with Michael Cohen and Malcolm Nance that was really a good show. And now what you've done is blown it all. I mean, you've left everyone so chill in the bad way towards you, cold, not chill, but cold towards you. If MeidasTouch brings you back on the air, it's like they're showing the munificence, the forgiveness, because you were really creepy this weekend. You got a lot of people to comment, and I commented on it, but you didn't need to do all that. Your reporting is great. MeidasTouch's reporting is good. You didn't need to attack MeidasTouch the way you did. They just report differently than you. You have different connections. Then you started putting down Ken Harbaugh. Eventually, you came around to say, okay, he's being out there in Crane, being on the front lines does matter because he's bringing us the news too. And I listen to him. And it's important. And a lot of people listen to him. And, you could have probably gotten more time with the network if you had just kept your trap shut and dealt with this in a more reasonable manner. Most of this was just a misunderstanding. And man, if this is the way you resolve issues, I don't see why they'd want to work with you.